When it's time to find a picture to engrave using the laser engraver, we need a picture that is black and white. No grayscale, no shadowing, no colors. Best place to start is we go to Google, click over to Google Images. You're going to type in whatever it is that you want to find an image of. In this case, I'm going to use the search term puppy. Now, while a lot of these pictures might be pretty cute and might be fun to use, none of these will engrave because the laser engraver works in that it burns the material wherever there is color. When there is not color, it doesn't. So while you might end up with a slight outline of this lighter colored dog, all of this is going to be the same color. So none of these photograph type things will work very well. What we really need are bold lines and areas of color, well, hopefully areas of black and white, but we can get to that in a minute. One of the things that Google Images has that some of the other image searches don't is the ability to narrow using categories. So when you click Tools, it should drop down and you should see the categories. First thing we're going to go do is we're going to go to Type, and there's a particular type of picture that has that bold lines, areas of color. They're called clip art. So we're going to switch over to clip art. Now these are better, and there might even be some of these, such as this one or this one down here, that are close, but you can see the majority of them have color. So what we would have is an engraved dog-shaped blob, not the clear details that we're looking for. Now a lot of these are great pictures, and you can look online and find essentially black and white versions of these, but to make Google do the work for us, we're going to actually also go to right here where it says color and change it to black and white. Now, a good majority of these would work and engrave well. Again, it would burn into the wood where it's black, leave it alone where it's white. Okay? Be careful of ones that still use grayscale, because Google uses the black and white term to be like a black and white photograph. More correctly, you've limited yourself to what would be considered grayscale images. In fact, they have shades of gray. You'll notice even some bits of color do sneak through. So make sure whichever image you choose, it is black, white, the end. Logos are also possible to do. So I'm going to back all the way out to just Google, and then Google Images, and I'm going to start with a logo. So if I'm a hockey fan, I might look at the Colorado Avalanche. Again, photographs, nothing really that good here. However, as Google was suggesting, if I then go to logo, I limit myself much better. You'll notice that most logos are very similar to clip art in that they have bold lines and areas of color. Now, as you might imagine, aside from this one right here, none of these would really engrave that well. However, if I open up my tools and I go to color and change that to black and white, I now have a different variety of ones, including a concept logo, including a shoulder logo. So I really open myself up. Again, be careful of ones that include shades of gray. What you're looking for is that true binary image. It is black, it is white, there is no shades of gray. These would work. Something like this would work quite well. Now what I can do is when I click on it and I see it full size, I need to save it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click the image, and there should be the term either save image as, or if you use a different web browser than Chrome, it might say save picture as, but not link, not anything else. It's save image as. And I'm going to select that. I'm then going to go to the Canon Student Share folder, and the way I get there is under Windows, you'll see your folder, and you should see Share. You should see FRM as a folder. Under Student Share, and then Electives, you should find the Kenna folder. Make sure then you pick your correct class period, and you should find a folder labeled To Be Engraved. you're going to save inside this folder, as in it should say to be engraved at the top. Now, right now, this has kind of a weird name to it. So I'm going to highlight all the stuff in front of the period and delete it. I'm going to replace that with my last name. If you happen to be in a class where you have multiple people with the same last name, please then add a dash and your first initial. This should prevent us from having anybody saving over anybody else's picture. So again, I'm in the class period that you belong to, the to be engraved folder, and you're saving it with the name as your last name, or potentially your last name dash first initial dot whatever it is. This one is a JPEG image .jpg, PNGs, and GIFs, and even BMPs will also work. If you get something weird, if it says .html, you're saving the web page. If it says something like SVG, it's not a good picture to use. You should use something different. You can save your image then, and you should see it in your downloads bar, and that completes what you need to do to save your image to be laser engraved at this stage.